leads to the future. Even though we are miles apart, we've never met in person. But we support one another. We stick with our dreams. Nothing is impossible for us. Let's connect with the world. The future awaits. Huawei Ict Competition, a platform for university students.
warm greeting to you. My name is Danny Lin. I'm the Deputy Director for Huawei's Global Education Partner Program. So I focus on the development of Huawei ICT Academy. Well, I work in Mr. Sun Gang's team. So basically, really appreciate you support us and then take the time to come to join this forum. Before I start to introduce further, I would like to introduce you, the VIPs. And Lin Tuo, would you please help when I introduce the VIP, please switch on the camera so that we know who they are. The first one I would like to introduce is Dr. Svetlana Niazeva. She is a Senior National Project Officer in Education Chief Unit in Officer in Education, Chief of Unit for Digital Pedagogy and Learning Materials for UNESCO's IITE. IITE stands for the Institute of Information Technology and Education in Education. So, Doctor, welcome you join. Thank you. The second one is Professor Yu Hong Ta. He is president of University Tunku Abdul Rahman. He joins us from Malaysia. Thank you very much, Professor, to join us.
Hello to everyone.
Thank you. And the third one, I haven't seen him, but let me check. He is the, oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly. The third one is Dr. Tuntu Johanna. He is the Dean of the School of Electrical Engineering and Information from the Institute of Technology Bandung. Dr. Johanna joins us from Indonesia. Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us.
Hello, everyone.
Great. And the next one is Professor Gianluca Reali. He is from the Department of Engineering, University of Perugia. He joins us from Italy. Professor, you muted yourself again, but welcome. Can you unmute yourself? We can't hear you, Professor. You unmuted yourself.
Oh, okay, I'm muted.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much for your introduction. Thank you very much. I'm pleased to be here.
It's a great honor to have you. And the next one is Dr. Si Yuanfeng. He is the co-director of IIOE Program of Management Center. IIOE stands for International Institute of Online Education. He is from UNESCO's ICHEI, the Information Center for Higher Education Innovation. So Dr. Feng, welcome.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And the next one, I haven't seen her came up, is Professor, well, exactly, we have that. The next one is Professor Ron Xia Zhong. She is Joint Chief of Open Education Laboratory, Smart Learning Institute of Beijing Normal University. Professor, can you unmute yourself and also switch on the camera?
Okay, wait a minute, please.
Yeah, no problem.
Hello, everyone. Yeah.
I know, too many people on the meeting. I need to, wonderful. Thank you very much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Great. And yeah, good. The next one is Mr. Johnson Kingwa. He is the Dean of Students from the University of Nairobi. He joins us from Kenya. Hang on, let me make sure we have him, the screen is on. Well, I haven't seen him on the screen as of yet. Well, if that is the case, we go on. The next two VIP guests are, the first one is Dr. Amwa Rahid. He is the Dean of the Faculty of Computer Science and Engineering. Doctor?
Okay, can you see me?
Not now.
इसको कर देना मैं just give us a minute please. I'm sorry. Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. Thank you very much. We see you. And then besides him, there is another VIP from the same university. It's Dr. Ghulam Abbas. He's the director of ICT. They come from the Ghulam Ict Institute of Engineering, Science and Technologies. They join us from Pakistan. Welcome, doctors.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. So
sorry for the connectivity issues from our side.
That's fine. So it is a great honor to have you to join this virtual summit forum. Well, let me start to kick off a bit. This summit is hosted by Huawei. Huawei is an ICT solution and smart device supplier to the international market. We devote ourselves to bring digital technology to every person, every organization, and the whole society for a fully connected and intelligent world. So that is our vision, and this is our mission. We work closely with our partners and suppliers to bring the technology to people, to everyone, every family, every organization, and the whole society. The company, have been operating for 32, 33 years. Through the short time, we have become one of the most important ICT technology supplier in the world. We ran 120 billion business. That was the number last year. This year, we're looking at even bigger. We have nearly 200,000 employees around the world. Through the operation, we know the importance of people. We know the quality people can bring a good result to the operation. Not only we ourselves, but our partner, our customer, we have the same needs. So we need the quality people, the people that knows ICT technology. We call these people as a talent. So in order to ensure the industry to develop to sustain continued development, we need to make sure there is a sustained supply to the whole system. So that is pretty important. We need to develop people, and then we also commit ourselves to the development. However, this is a very big call. We can't do it ourselves. Just like Mr. Sun Gang has just mentioned. So we can't do it ourselves. We have to join with our partners. Those people have the same vision and doing the same thing. We joined with them to do this together. One initiative we have is ICT talent ecosystem, which is we work with the universities, with education organizations to train people, to teach people together. So you guys from the UNESCO, from the universities, you are the most important alliance on this mission. So we really appreciate your coming. Also, as Mr. Sun Gang mentioned, so Huawei, we are a technology company, and then we commit ourselves into this mission. When the pandemic kicks in with the stretch into everyone's operation, not only our operation, we understand it also impacts your operation. Like every university, the student cannot attend the classroom. It is a big challenge. What we do is we do our part to support you, hence that can support ourselves. Under the pandemic, we can continue to develop people. We, as Mr. Sun Gang mentioned, we straightened our whole operation. We do the provide our training content online so that the student can learn from home. We have our lab equipment to be online so that you can motivate the student to do the practice online. They are learning the technology. We also have the examination systems online so that you can check the students' qualification online. So that is all thing we have. And we also support the activity like the competition and the job fair online just like we have this now. So this is a part of the Huawei ICT competition. So we support the major activities like this online. As this forum, we are honored to have you all to attend this. It is our great pleasure. We today, as you can see, are shared on my screen. I have made it because we only have a limited time. We would like to restrict it into or focus on two topics. One is ICT education. Education is a big thing. So we can talk about the chemistry. We can talk about architects. We can talk about medical. But those ones, with full respect, but Huawei, we are not experts. But talking about ICT, the information and the communication technology, that is our focus. And then we want to, we commit into this, and then we want to discuss this. The second topic we want to discuss is education with ICT. You know, education is your daily work. And then we provide the education system, not only the infrastructure, but the education component into it. And then we want to see, we're seeing the ICT play an important part, specifically under the threat of a pandemic. We want to discuss with you and hear from you what you see the ICT in education. What is the strategy and what is the application during and after the pandemic? The pandemic, many people, we all hope it will be finished very soon, but looks like it is going on for some time. We take this not only as a threat, we take this as an opportunity. So basically, we want to use this, take the chance to improve our system and then help you to improve the system. So finally, well, today is, it is a great honor we have you here. And then we will have the things focusing on this, but we will run in two parts. The first part, we would invite each of you to do a speech, a presentation. About 10 minutes, pretty short. We would please ask you to be mindful of the time. You can be a little bit over time, but please don't overtime too much. Say 10 minutes. If you make 12 minutes or 13 minutes, no problem, but don't make it 20 minutes. That will be too long, impacting others. So we do the first part as a presentation. We have like 8 or 9 presentations. And then after that, we will run a short panel discussion so that based on the discussion, the presentation we have, we will invite you to on the further discussion onto this topic. And then we hope to finish in an hour and a half or maximum 2 hours time. Would that be okay for everyone?
Yes.
Yes,
wonderful.
yes. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. If that is the case, let's just kick start. Dr. Svetlana, could you please start first? Really appreciate you. And we have tried to work with the system, and then if you have the presentation, you can share your screen so that people can see your screen. Dr. Svetlana?
Okay, thank you. I'll try to open, but while there is an acknowledgement, you cannot start screen share while the other participant is sharing.
Oh, yeah, I'm sharing. Yeah, hold on. How can I be so naive? I'm sorry. Yeah, my fault. Gee, how do I go back to the system? I have released that. My apology.
So, can you see my presentation now?
Certainly, very good. Thank you. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I will talk about the educational disruption due to the COVID pandemic and post-COVID education. My name is Svetlana Knyazeva, and I represent UNESCO Institute for Information Technologies and Education. The institute was established in 1997 and is located in Moscow. It is one of Category 1 UNESCO institutes, and it holds a global mandate for ICT in education. In line with the new Education 2030 agenda, IIT has developed its strategic priority areas to meet new demands and tasks. And the mission of the Institute is to promote innovative use of ICT and serving as a facilitator and enabler for achieving sustainable development goal 4. I think everyone is familiar with it. It's to ensure inclusive and quality education for all and promote lifelong learning. So main implementation modalities of the Institute are assisting member states in policy development and capacity building on ICT in education, research and advocacy in this field, promoting ICT competencies and skills for teachers, strengthening knowledge sharing and dissemination of best practices, harnessing ICT potential for inclusive education and education for health and well-being, developing partnerships and networks. Well, now we when we think about the implications of this COVID pandemic, we can see that well, even before the pandemic, there was already gap in financing gap that would enable achieving SDG 4, and now with well, predicted decrease in GDP in many countries, not only in low and lower middle income countries, but even in the developed countries. The challenge is becoming more and more serious. So if we look back to April, we can see that, well, here are the figures and numbers, and almost 74% of total enrolled learners were affected. The schools were closed or partially open. Well, in some of them, academic break was announced, and well, even those that were partially open or closed due to COVID and were trying to organize distance learning, many schools happen to be not ready to this. Now the situation has improved, and only 13% of total enrolled learners are affected, but still the situation is quite serious. Trying to cope with this problem, UNESCO launched a Global Education Coalition, and well, now there are more than 140 members, and Huawei is also the member of this coalition. Well, here on the screen you can see some resources that were made available due to joint efforts of UNESCO and its partners from the coalition, from the academia, universities, schools, and ICT industry. So more information on UNESCO's COVID educational response is available at this address, and there are various kinds of resources, learning materials, resources to provide psychological support, digital learning management systems, etc. MOOCs, mobile reading applications, etc. Our institute also launched an initiative, a smaller scale initiative, Combat COVID-19, Keep Learning Together, We Are on the Move. And Huawei is also one of the partners in this initiative. So A week ago, almost 2 weeks ago, UNESCO convened an extraordinary session of the Global Education Meeting that was co-hosted by the governments of Ghana, Norway, and the United Kingdom. This unique platform exchanged opinions of political leaders, policymakers, and global education actors. In addition to these mentioned countries, there were also ministers. There was Secretary General of the UN, presidents of several countries, prime ministers, deputy prime ministers for education, and over 65 ministers of education from 5 continents took the floor in the meeting to share measures to counter the impact of the pandemic on learning. Also, there were some multilateral and regional organizations such as Global Partnership for Education and the Education Above All Foundation. The meeting endorsed the declaration, which defined the priority actions that are essential for educational recovery in the coming 15 months. So the main are taking every measure to reopen schools safely and inclusively, supporting all teachers as frontline workers, investing in skills development, narrowing the digital divide, and these priority actions require that education budgets be at least protected, if not increased. Also, governments and partners stated their commitment to maintain or increase the share of public spending on education to at least 4 to 6% of GDP or 15 to 20 of public expenditure. Another measure is ensuring that stimulus packages support measures that will mitigate learning losses and get the most vulnerable back to school. Increasing the volume, predictability, and effectiveness of international aid and target aid to countries and population most in need, including those who are not reached by government programs. So, in fact, there are some concerns about, related to, predicted decrease in GDP and respective decrease in public allocations for education and international aid. Under this condition, it is extremely important to strengthen collaboration between international organizations, universities, schools. UNESCO has UNESCO chairs, the networks of UNESCO chairs and UNESCO associated schools, and between ICT industry partners. One example, I would say this is a positive step forward. We are currently, we have started working on a project and the project agreement with Huawei based in Bahrain. And this is, a research to be done to promote already mentioned ICT talent ecosystem in the Middle East. So I would like to thank for this opportunity to join the invitation by the organizer Huawei to join the panel of distinguished experts, and I look forward to further deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Much appreciated. Your presentation and then the information you have shown is very helpful. I'm very interested in to know really like in the GEM, the Global Education meeting. Basically, you have the ability to get the government from all around the world to, looking into not only in the past, but right now and moving forward in the future, what the education will play, what kind of a role in our whole life. And then as the national strategies, like you rightly mentioned, GDP spending, and then public spending, the key indicators, what are the commitment into it? That is really the strongest drive into this. This summit, when it begins, we were thinking of inviting some government officials to join, but we soon realized it will be just too hard to control which government to get. And then the situation will be quite different. I had the opportunity to talk with some Ministry of Education's minister, and then I realized how diverse the situation is, but really appreciate your presentation. And then I hope when we finish all the presentation, we can come back to dive in to the message you have delivered. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you.
All right. The next, I would like to invite Professor Yu, the president from Utah, to present. Professor Yu.
Thank you very much to Danny. Thank you again for inviting me to this very important summit forum. And today I would like to share with you our experience that we work with Huawei. And this is something that I think is good to share. University Tunku Abdul Rahman, this is the name of the university, or in short form, Utah. We are also one of the premier digital tech university identified and designated by our Malaysia Digital Economy Corporations from the government. Basically, at the end, as you can see the screen, this is actually one of our campuses in Kampar, okay? Very scenic campus. Now, basically, our university is not so old, it's only 18 years old, but now we already have 22,000 students and then 67,000 alumni. So this is partly a little bit about the university. It's a comprehensive university offering over 110 programs in various areas and all that with 2,000 over academic staff. Now, this is our Kampar campus, which we actually house many activities, including our Huawei teaching lab there in our campus, okay? And you're most welcome to visit us anytime when you're free, okay? And there's these BioCities on campus. Although campus is actually equipped with all the broadband ICT equipments and also the latest technology and curriculums in ICT, but we want to make sure that the nature actually blends well with the technology. And this is another campus we have, Sungai Long campus, which is near to our capital city, Kuala Lumpur. This is our city campus. Okay. Basically, we have these 10 major study areas covering accounting, business, actuarial science, agriculture, food science, Chinese study, art, social science, creative study, engineering and built environment, ICT, life and physical sciences, as well as medicine and health sciences. So it's very comprehensive. But we believe that because of the fourth industrial revolution, ICT technology is actually something that links all of this and is becoming more and more important. And over these years, we have also introduced more and more ICT related courses in other programs as well, so that the students are actually equipped with this knowledge, and digital literacy is now a must for all the graduates of the university. Okay. Of course, we also offer master program, PhD, and also postdoc program. Now, in terms of human capital development, today I'd like to share with you a few major areas that we work with Huawei. For example, focus areas for industrial collaboration, on curriculum development, on about talks and workshops that actually help upskill and also train the students. Sponsorship and awards, how to actually initiate and motivate them so that they can actually study beyond the curriculum, and also how to actually channel them to the job market recruitment. So the challenges and opportunity in education and talent development is because nowadays technology actually move very fast, advance very fast. So how do we make sure that all the graduates they are ready for meet the market in future? So that's why it is important that we have to have the feedback from the industry partners. And in this case, we work closely with Huawei, and it is a continuous and actually regular updates from Huawei to know what is changing in the market and what the outside world needs the graduates and all that. And at the same time, we also believe that to promote this culture of lifelong learning, and so that they continue to develop their soft skill and other kind of skill is very important, because that's how they pick up new knowledge when they join the job market. So I believe that this is actually very important, that graduates from university nowadays need to meet the industry requirement. Okay. So for example, with Huawei, we have this Huawei Ict Academy program in our university that directly in our curriculum, our syllabi, we actually discuss with Huawei, and then in our curriculum development to make sure that all the technologies related technology area, we have the feedback from the industry. And in addition to this one, we also have this trainer workshop, courses and talks, so that the lecturers, the professors can always actually upskill themselves, so that they know about the latest changes, the latest technology. And it is quite common that because we have a monthly curriculum program, monthly development committee meetings, so the update of the curriculum is quite fast, and it can be actually regularly. Okay, so that's why it actually shows the importance of actually working with the industry. Okay, for example, I think in our university, we are actually very thankful to Huawei for setting up this Utah Huawei Networking Lab, that the student can really actually have a lot of hands-on practical classes on Huawei switches and routers, and then we train them for Huawei Certified Network Associate and other programs as well. So over these years, this is incorporated into the curriculum. So the students who actually take related courses, they are actually required to participate in this and then do the hands-on. We believe that knowing knowledge is one thing, but knowing how to apply the knowledge is also very important. And this hands-on experience helps to develop them better. Okay. And for example, our Faculty of Information and Communication Technology, working with Huawei, and then integrating all the courses inside the programs directly. We believe this is something very useful. Okay. We also have this Huawei Academy, and then students were also handpicked and to participate in competitions, and then we conduct the HCIA virtual workshop to prepare them for all these certifications and all that. So as you can see over here, we also actually use some of the materials provided by Huawei, so that the student can have actually the up-to-date knowledge about this. Now, in terms of the academy, working with Huawei Academy, we because this is a constant update and all that, so from time to time we are revamping our strategy and how we deliver. Especially now, I think recently because of COVID situation, a lot of things that need to go online. So we actually quickly adopt all these some of the virtual tools, the virtual labs and all that to equip our students with that one. So that kind of adaptability is very important. And I think we would like to thank Huawei again for actually coping with our needs and demand in such a fast manner. Okay, and of course, we have another faculty called Utah Lee Kwong Chien Faculty of Engineering and Science. They, even for the field of engineering and science, they need to actually have exposure into this area. For example, in routing and switching, AI, cloud computing, big data, and IoT. So we work closely with Huawei on the curriculum development on that part. Okay, and for example, in our data communication and networking, the teaching materials of HCIA routing and switching are already integrated into the program itself, the course. Okay, and then of course with practical sessions so that the student can have hands-on. And in addition to this one, at the completion of this semester, we also provide this 5-day intensive training and revision classes, so that the students are actually really be prepared and to sit for the HCIA exam. And the other thing is actually also important, the ICC certification. We remind the student and give them additional knowledge about this one. So they know that if they can get themselves certified, they actually stand higher chance to get hired before graduation. And that's why we believe that Huawei ICT Academy working with UTA is a win-win situation for all parties. For us, we have to the opportunity to get the latest industrial technology, and the student can learn the required skill set and knowledge that meets the industrial requirement. And then for the industry, all these job-ready graduates can join the industry immediately after their graduation. In fact, I think a lot of our graduates actually join Huawei, and they have been sent to not just in Malaysia, but also different parts of Huawei International. Now, for example, I think in addition to curriculum development, all this exposure in talks and workshops are already important. Just a few days ago, we have invited the Huawei Malaysia CEO, Mr. Michael Yuan, actually to share with us on this digital economy and new infrastructure. So the students are exposed to the latest technology, 5G and beyond, and all the latest fourth industrial revolution related technology. And they know about why this is important for them to be exposed to this one, and why they should put in more effort in learning all these things, because these are coming, and you can see, and we like to thank Huawei, because in this talk and all that, they share with us the real insider kind of trend forecast, so that the students are more prepared for the future. Okay, like for example, we also conduct this workshop. This is real hands-on about Huawei Mobile Services Machine Learning Kit integration workshop, which actually we provide to the student, and then so that they can pick up this workshop. Although now students are learning online, but we provide them this additional workshop for them beyond their normal curriculum. This is another one, Huawei HMS ecosystem. With a multi machine learning kit and all that. This is free talk available to all the students in our university. In addition to this one, I think Huawei also give a lot of these scholarships to the students. So the students who are recruited by Huawei, and they can later also continue to serve Huawei, and they are actually sent to different parts of the Huawei office in the world. So that because with this corporate cultures and all that, and also the latest exposure to knowledge, they can actually cope with the work in a much faster manner. Okay, and in the campus environment, we also have this recruitment, Huawei recruitment. For example, last year, early this year, before COVID, February 27, 2020, we have all these sessions that interview for the students and all that. Okay, so that they can know about the job opportunities with Huawei. And with the training in their labs, in their curriculum, this one actually prepare them well for this. And then, for example, we also run this Huawei Connected Campus, a very big event. Last year and the previous year, we also have over 1,000 students participating in the whole one-day program and all kinds of activities. So that the students are excited about the new technology and explore the new digital economy and also technology. So we believe all these exposure are very important for our students, so that they know they have to keep on learning and being exposed to the latest technology. So basically, I like to actually end this presentation. As you can see from the last slide, upper left corner, in our Kampa campus, we have this statue. Confucius is playing chess with Einstein, Albert Einstein. Okay, Confucius is playing the Go, and then Einstein is playing the chess lah. But we just want to tell that it is actually where the East meets West. In this globalized world, it is very important that we have this culture, that we embrace globalization, and with the networking infrastructure and the internet and all that, a lot of communications now is actually instantly done. So it is very important for our students to realize that they must actually experience different culture. They must pick up new knowledge. They pick up additional language, and the world is the platform for them to contribute to themselves. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor. What a wonderful presentation. It is really a great showcase of the industry and academy collaboration. Well, from your presentation, we can see a great whole picture. Basically, your university at the high level have a tight collaboration with a industry player like Huawei. The point you have just touched on, like our CEO visits your university to give you update, to meet the friend, meet the student, to inspire them, to let them know, say, from our industry as a leading industry player's point of view, what we are doing, and then what is the future, so that to inspire the student. On your daily teaching, say your faculties embed Huawei's content into the regular curriculum, so that students naturally soak up the latest cutting edge technologies, and then they are ready to be used. And then as a result, as you mentioned, Huawei has no hesitation to hire your student. And then when they graduate, they not only join Huawei Malaysia, but they also contribute to Huawei's operation in the region. So that's a great example. I really would like to come back to dive into a little bit more into this, especially like the content enrichment. But I'll come back to let the key presenters go through first. Thank you very much, Professor. Wonderful. And next, I would like to invite Dr. Johanna from ITB to present. Well, ITB has also been a long-time partner with Huawei. Dr. Johanna.
Thank you, Didi. Okay.
Yeah, we see your logo. Wonderful. We see you. Yeah,
yeah.
You're online. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Johanna. I'm the Dean of School of Artificial Engineering and Informatics, Institute Technology Bandung. We would like to first introduce our university first. ITB is founded in 1920, so it is a very old institution. This is the development of our campus until 97. And for your information, that ITB has, in addition to engineering faculty, there are also business school and arts faculty. So we have a complete faculty. And this is our campus now in 2019, actually, yeah. But now it's similar, yeah. We have main campus in Bandung, in the capital city of West Java. But we have also another campus about 30 kilometers from Bandung. This is the distant campus of ITB. But this is the main campus in our main campus in Bandung. Yeah. You can see here some buildings are very old, and this is the new building. For your information, we have several alumni, prominent alumni. Actually, our first and third president is from ITB. And that's a very brief introduction to our university. Actually, ITB is the best engineering university in Indonesia. And now I will introduce our school, School of Electrical Engineering and Informatics. In Indonesia, we call it STEI, and in English, of course, SEEI. And we have a 6 undergraduate program, 2 master program, and 1 doctoral program. Most of our undergraduate study program already accredited by ABIT. And one of the undergrad program will be accredited about in 2021. We have also master program in electrical engineering and master program in informatics and doctoral program in electrical engineering and informatics with several research area. Now come to the collaboration with Huawei. Actually, our collaboration, as Danny mentioned before, started in 2011. Yeah, it's been 9 years, and then of course the ITB perceived the university and industry collaboration is an important thing because industry insight can improve student capability while they are graduates. So this collaboration with ITB with the Huawei, of course, very important for us. Yeah. In addition to our collaboration with other company. In 2011, actually, I was the one of lecturer who do the training for trainer for the SCDA certification. So I have involved in this collaboration in many years. And now we have ICT Academy, Huawei Ict Academy. So I will give you a brief introduction to our Huawei Ict Academy and ITB. We have this academy for certification training in routing switching, cloud computing, cloud service, security, and artificial intelligence. So we have 5 training programs for our students. Actually, the hands-on experience of our students get from this Huawei. Some of them get from this Huawei training program. For the Huawei for the hands-on experience, we tell the student to do the experiment in our lab here. You can see here. This is the donation from Huawei. This is our team who run the Huawei Ict Academy in ITB. Our person in charge is Dr. Rifki Hamid, and me and my colleague is the advisory board, and the instructor Abdul Latif, Ibni Ingrianti, Harashta, Perfian, Ahmad Muhammad, Gali Nugraha, Kafi, and we have, as I said before, 5 certification of Huawei. Some milestone I want to show you in 2018. We start the partnership with the Huawei Ict Academy as HINA, and then we have some activities in 2018, including also the Seed for Future program, which was held in Beijing and Shenzhen. The participants joined the ICT class and experienced the real hands-on lab in Huawei headquarters. So in addition to the data communication technology, Huawei also provide the program which is called Seed for the Future. This is the screen, the example of the activities of the Seed for Future in 2018. And yeah, I think we don't have to explain by one our milestone here, but many activities we have done in the 2018. In 2018, we have Huawei Ict Competition also, yeah, in the university level. And in 2019, the similar activities we are also doing in this collaboration with the Huawei. And in 2019, the ITB became the first winner in national level, both in network and cloud track, and represent Indonesia in the regional or Asia Pacific level in October 2020. Yeah. This is the photos from the ICT competition 2018-2019. This is the photo for the competition in 2019 university level. Yeah. And in 2020, we have trained the trainer for SCIA, AI, and bootcamp training. And also we have ICT competition 2000 and 2020, Asia Pacific regional level. The ITB won the Asia Pacific regional level as the first winner for both and network and cloud track. And in November 2020, last week, our team found the ICT competition 2020 global final. The ITB team represent Asia Pacific in global final for both network and cloud track. The results we have still waiting for the result. And this is a screenshot of the announcement and award ceremony for the Huawei ICT competition regional level Asia Pacific. And for the global level, this is from 6th until 14 November 2020. Huawei plan to be held in China, but changed to online competition due to COVID-19 pandemic. And ITB participated in network and cloud track as the representative of Asia Pacific regional. All right. Okay, I will share some training implementation in ITB. We have 4 ways of implementation of the training in ITB. The first is integrated to university curriculum subject. We have subject in computer networks, advanced IP technology, telecommunication network security, and also lab practices. For the hands-on experience for the student, we are using Huawei equipment and the hardware and also the simulator for hands-on. The second way we implement the training, we have a fast-track training 5 days during the holiday at the end of the semester, usually after the end of the semester. And the third way is blended learning in class and self-learning combination with flexible schedule. And fourth way is online training during COVID-19 pandemic, 4 hours per day for 8 days. Thank you very much for your kind attention, Danny. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much, Doctor. What a wonderful result. Well, as you mentioned in your presentation, it is a great pleasure that the ITB comes on the first prize for the regional competition in Asia Pacific. For the VIP guests on the meeting, you probably don't know this, and I'm so happy, and I want to introduce a bit. So this, right now, this virtual summit forum, it is the past of our Huawei ICT competition's global final. But before the global final, we have actually many steps to achieve this. Before this, we will all like Mr. Sun Gang mentioned, we have more than 1,000 Huawei ICT academies around the world. We have gone through different levels of competition, the university level competition, the country level competition, and then the regional level competition. So basically the university competition will work out the winners in the university. They represent the university to join a country competition. And then in the country competition, those teams that winning against the other universities represent the country to join the regional competition. And then ITB has been winning in 2 tracks. We actually have 3 tracks. One is a networking track, another one is a storage track, and then we recently added a new track, but that is for invitation only. We have an innovation competition. So basically, ITB has been winning in the Asia Pacific region for both the networking track and also the storage, cloud track. So wonderful result. Further to that, as I would like to add the ITB, the collaboration with Huawei. ITB, like Doctor mentioned, we really have been working very long time, and the mutual trust is so deep. I would like to mention today we have Dr. Feng from UNESCO's ICHEI. 2 years ago, I took the chief, I companioned the chief of UNESCO's ICHEI to visit ITB. So basically, we are aligning together with international organization, the university, and the industry. So basically, the mutual support and then the mutual leverage is just so powerful. But thank you very much, Doctor. Really appreciate it. The next one, I would like to invite Professor Gianluca Reali from Italy, from University of Perugia, to present. Professor?
Thank you very much for
wonderful. Oh, good.
Good, I'm sharing my screen now.
Yeah, take your time. Yeah, wonderful.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see the screen. Wonderful.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay, good morning, everybody. And today I'm happy to be here with you virtually to share with you the experience that we had at the University of Perugia with the ICT Huawei Academy. Well, Perugia is a city located in the center of Italy. Its university was founded as one of the ancient in the Europe and in the world. It was founded in the medieval age in the year 1308, and it includes faculties and departments of scientific type, technical types, and also humanities. It is a general university, and I'm deeply involved in the ICT area of the university. And today I will show you the brief history of our academy. This is some few information about our story of this year that led to the construction, to the definition of Huawei Ict Academy here. We had some initial meetings in the early 2019. The stimulus for implementing this academy came from local companies in our area. Perugia is located in the Umbrian region, and the local companies had the need of hiring people with some expertise for handling Huawei infrastructure. And we started some discussion, and then I will show you a little bit about this process. In July 2019, we established this agreement, and the initial lectures in the routing and switching started in September 2019. And in 1 year, about 1 year, some tens of people got the certification, and this is a result that is quite interesting in our perspective, and is a stimulus for going on of this path. So just a few words about the process that gave us an added value in our courses, so a kind of win-win approach. As I mentioned before, we got some specific requests from local companies. One of them, a company named PA Evolution, it is currently part of Retalit, contacted us and they asked about the possibility of starting our ICT Academy, Huawei Ict Academy. Then the next phase was to collect some information about the possibility and the program, the HAINA program run by Huawei. We organized some meetings here at the University of Perugia. Some people from Huawei went here. Antonio Yabar from Western Europe went here. And the former representative of Italian academies went here, along with some people from these companies, the companies that I mentioned. After that, we started the compatibility analysis of Huawei program and learning material with our local programs in ICT, in the ICT area. It was not easy because it is quite difficult to find the sufficient resources and energies to implement two programs in parallel. So we tried the approach we pursued the approach of integrating the learning material from Huawei with our material in order to provide a suitable definition of courses. And this was actually the added value, the real added value for our programs. And the students have highly appreciated what we have done, because they had the opportunity of integrating the knowledge in the networking area with a practical expertise. Although we do not have real infrastructure, real routers and switches here, the opportunity to work with the Huawei emulator ENSP, you know very well that ENSP is based on virtualized environment. It's based on VirtualBox, including the real operating system of devices. So, working with this emulator, the students had the opportunity to handle the real Huawei environment. They had the opportunity to apply their knowledge to emulated devices. And after some work, we produced the learning material that we are actually using in our courses. And the next step is that students, also this year, we started the third course a few days ago. The students' appreciation is increasing. Currently in my class of routing and switching, I have something like 70 students. I don't remember the exact number, but about 70 students enrolled the course in routing and switching. So they showed a marked interest in this approach. And in 1 year, we got I don't remember the exact numbers, but some tens of people got the certification. And now, in our area, there is sufficient knowledge and expertise for companies to do their business using the Huawei infrastructure. But this is not the end, because we had in mind to loop over this process and to review time after time with the aim maybe of improving our offer and to improve the mutual advantage of this approach. So if we consider the space of university purpose, our actions happen in three main directions for all universities: the direction of teaching, clearly, but also the direction of technology transfer in the reference area. For us, the reference area is our region, Umbria. It's not very large, but it has a significant presence of companies in the country. And also the third direction that is very important for us, it is research. Because research, in order to, in addition to producing research results, it also gives teachers the expertise to transfer their very updated knowledge to students. And now the presence of the Huawei Academy at our universities allowed us in 1 year to improve our work about teaching and technology transfer in 1 year. Our aim, if possible, is to move along this direction and maybe to enlarge, to widen the academy, including other certification courses, to improve the technology transfer in our territory, maybe including increasing the number of companies that are currently involved in Huawei technologies. And why not also some research in collaboration with Huawei would also complete this picture for an integration better and better, and to pursue this direction of intervention that for us is really important. We have invested some energy in this. I don't want to stop as we are now, but we would like to progress and to find construct an environment that is suitable for our students, our territory, and also to offer to Huawei very fruitful collaboration. And this is our experience, and I knew that the time available is short, so this concludes my presentation, and I thank you very much for your attention. Ready for further questions and anything is needed. Thank you very much.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you very much, Professor. What a great start. You know what, when I listened to your presentation, and also thinking back my previous experience, I just can't stop wondering how you motivate the student to learn the technology. I had been to Italy a number of times. Well, the first couple of times, basically sightseeing, and later on went to the Tuscany area. Oh, gee, I was saying, give me the Chianti, give me the Tuscany beef. I won't go anywhere. I won't do anything else. And but how you motivate, in such a place with Italy, the beautiful legacy, with ample supply, and with the engineering strengths, in cars, in construction, all of those. How you motivate the student into the modern technology, into ICT? I really would like to hear, how you did it, and then moving forward, what is your next step plans? We have seen other university. I realize University of Perugia just worked with Huawei in the industry academy collaboration in the teaching part, but you can see other universities, the earlier one like ITB and like Utah, they had been working with us a long time, and really I love to hear, say, moving forward. Say, when you have 70 students in one class to do the routing and switching, moving forward, what is your plan? But for time being, let's do the other VIP's presentation first. But thank you very much, Professor.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. And the next one, I'd like to invite Dr. Fang from UNESCO ICHEI to present his experience on the online learning. Dr. Fang?
Yes, my pleasure. Please let me share my screens.
Yeah.
Can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can. Put
Great,
it on the
great.
screen. Yeah, wonderful.
I'll put it on full screen, and here we go.
Great. Yeah.
So today I'm very honored to be invited by Huawei to join this session, and I'm going to introduce our institution, the International Institute of Online Education, and how we manage to address the challenges for ICT education in developing countries through public-private partnerships. And that involves a critical part of the presence of the Huawei ICT efforts in global education. So to start with, we are facing quite a lot of challenges for the digital transformation of course higher education institutions in developing countries. First, the old questions, the old challenges about funding and hardware infrastructures. So to facilitate the digital transformation in higher education, and the higher education institutions are facing insufficient computer laboratories and poor maintenance in developing countries. And also the access to internet is also changing. More than 10 years ago, we used to have desktops, laptops, but now we are increasingly using the tablets and mobile phones to access internet. And also there are very limited funding for the digital transformation for the institutions in developing countries. And it is not just about the funding and hardware, it is also about the softwares. It is about the ICT competencies in higher education and for the competencies for policymakers. There are insufficient teacher professional development for ICT empowered education in developing countries. And also it is about the very limited digital awareness and skills to utilize ICT in teaching and educational management. And also, whenever there's the will for the teachers and educators to improve their ability to improve their competencies, there's always some kind of paywall for the externally developed resources. And these are the major challenges for developing countries. But there are also very good opportunities. The first good opportunity is about the mobile learning opportunities. And this is the opportunity for developing countries to overcome the hardware barriers. You see the first picture on the left shows a computer laboratory in the United States. Actually, you can notice that the kind of hardware is very much old, and it's as close as the hardware that many of us might have used 10 years ago. But you see this picture on the right of the screen. This is a classroom in Uganda. So the students are already using laptops and using the tablets to access the internet and to access online education resources. So this could be an opportunity for the developing countries to bypass the hardware wall and bypass the limitations caused by the insufficient hardware. And actually the mobile access to educational resources are much cheaper and much easier for some areas of the world. But there are also problems. There are problems about the one-way ICT expansion. Much of the ICT applications are rapidly penetrating across the world. But we need to notice, where is the technology being developed? We can see on the right side of the screen, the first map shows the geographic distribution of the world. And the second map shows where most ICT applications are being developed. This is based on a map projection of the 2010s. So you can see that most of the technologies in the English-speaking world are developed in North America and developed in Europe. China is catching up, India is catching up, Japan is catching up, but not so much about Africa, not so much about South America, not so much about the developing areas of the world. So this is quite an unbalanced map in terms of ICT applications. So we need to think about who is to define the local demand for ICT and who is to develop the ICT products, ICT applications for higher education, considering local needs. So here's our proposal. We need to access the critical partnerships for digital transformation across higher education in the world. We need to build a supportive network for ICT in developing countries and by developing countries. To realize this, we need to notice critical partners through this network. We need to mobilize higher education in developing countries. We need to mobilize enterprises like Huawei. We need international mediators like the UNESCO. And along with these partners, we need to form strong partnerships for this to come true. So we propose we change from the HEI, higher education institutions, to considering the new content of the HEI, higher education, enterprises, and international organizations. And a great example for that is our offering to the international community. We have developed the International Institutes of Online Education. We, the UNESCO HE, the Center for Higher Education Innovations, together with 11 universities from developing countries, and also together with the partnership enterprises like Huawei and the other industry companies. And then the result of this partnership turns out to be a wide range of different courses provided freely to the international community, especially those who work in higher education in developing countries. And this screenshot shows the courses, a selection of courses provided by Huawei and provided freely to us and freely to all of the teachers and educators from developing countries. And by these offerings, we were able to provide the tailored services according to the teachers and educational administrators' specific demands. We aim to use the courses to enhance the teachers' comprehensive ICT awareness. And we help the ICT teachers to renew their disciplinary knowledge and enhance their research capacities. And also we help the educational administrators to understand how to use ICT to assist their administration and how to manage their universities. We were also able to mobilize the industrial resources from Huawei and from other companies to provide trainings in these following 8 professional fields: in big data, in cloud computing, IoT, and other things. We were able to build a global ICT competency network. For example, in September, we launched our first multi-level training. We've helped nearly 2,200 learners from 95 countries across the world, around the world, to help them to get aware, to understand what big data is, and to help them practice in big data applications like in Excel and beyond in the Hadoop and other access. And through the supervised and the interactive online learning process, we help the learners to build up a collaborative community of teachers, for them to exchange their ideas and for them to understand the cutting edge technologies to be used in higher education. We were also to mobilize all the resources to make quick responses to the COVID-19 pandemic and beyond. And we've developed some training series. We addressed the specific needs caused by the COVID pandemic. And also we identified the local demands for COVID response. And we mobilized the international resources from Huawei, from other companies, to help the teachers understand how to teach using the ICT and how to evaluate the students' performance and how to get beyond the difficulties and barriers caused by the pandemic. We also delivered 10 sessions in English and French, and we provided our service to 48 countries and regions and to 307 HEIs. And we also helped 2,100 teachers and educational administrators to increase their awareness in the ICT awareness in this special era, and to help them overcome the difficulties caused by the pandemic. And these efforts could not have been done without the support from the international community, without the support from higher education institutions, without the support from companies like Huawei. And I sincerely thank Huawei for this opportunity for me to introduce our institution and for organizing this event, and for your kind offering to the international community, to the teachers across the world, for them to get free and open access online education resources. And thank you. This is all for my presentation. And I look forward to discuss further with you after this in the panel discussion. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Doctor. The presentation is great. Totally agree with you on the couple points you mentioned, like the imbalance of different countries' development. You made a very clear comparison of the developed environment where the infrastructure is so good and the student can have more than they need to achieve the learning. And on the other side, we also have the student where, you know, they can't even have a PC themselves. And even a terminal, you can see the Uganda kids, they gather together to work on the same screen. And this is where, you know, the ICT can come into play. And very much like you mentioned, the wireless is actually the solution. It can jump through the generations of the industry development. And while you were presenting, I think I was thinking another thing. I also totally agree with you on to the different, imbalance of different countries' development. I was in a country, I won't mention the country's name, but basically is they haven't achieved the industrialization yet. However, what the education expert found is the engineering student is declining. So that is actually a key challenge for not only for the university, it's actually for the whole country. How do you get the student to achieve that? And really appreciate you have got a very clear structure of working with the higher education organizations like the universities, working with the companies like Huawei to work out a comprehensive solution to address it. And then, while I would love to understand a little bit more of the IIOE, the International Institute of Online Learning, in a short time, you can deliver the training to 95 countries. That's amazing. And in the impact of a pandemic, that's really a great solution. And for a sincere company like Huawei, we are keen and we commit ourselves to develop talent. It's a great partner. But thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you. Let's discuss onto it. Next, I would like to invite Professor Ron Xia Zhong from the Beijing Normal University. Thank you very much, Professor. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I will show my screen. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Ron Xia Zhong, and I'm very glad to have the opportunity to share with you some Chinese experience about maintaining undisrupted learning during COVID-19 outbreak. Sorry. Okay, as we all know, the COVID-19 has rapidly spread worldwide from the beginning of this year, and the statistics from UNESCO shows that there are about 572 million students were affected, and about 30 countries were, sorry, I'm a little nervous. And there are about 30 countries have closed their schools countrywide. All the schools in China now have resumed, but more than 279 million students' study was still interrupted during the outbreak. But luckily, our Ministry of Education has reacted quickly to reduce the impact of the epidemic on education. Here are some policies and strategies we have taken, such as closing schools and allowing students to stay home, and organizing expert team, launching disrupted classes and undisrupted learning initiative, providing online learning platforms, and so on. The disrupted classes and disrupted learning is the largest practice of online learning in the world. And it has some characteristics and such as flexible learning, study at home, content on demand, and diverse modes, and so on. These are some key factors about flexible learning. So let's go on. Flexibility can be understood as offering choices in the educational environment and customizing a given course to meet the needs of individual learners. So it's crucial to provide learners the possibility of making learning choices. And we can regard flexible pedagogy as a learner-centered educational strategy which provides choice. Sorry, we can see here. Yeah. The flexible learning can provide choices from the main dimensions of study for students, such as time and location of learning, resources for teaching and learning, instructional approaches, learning activities, and support for teachers and learners. In this way, teaching and learning can be flexible rather than fixed, and flexible learning can help students to promote their easy, engaged, and effective learning. There are some dimensions that we can consider when we talk about flexible learning, such as when and where the learning occurs, what and how students will learn, and how to deliver the instruction, and the learning activities and the strategies and the technologies and the resources and so on. There are so many dimensions for flexible learning. And here we found the 7 core elements that the online learning needs, including reliable communication infrastructure and suitable digital learning resources, friendly learning tools, effective learning methods, constructive instructional organizations, and effective support service and close cooperation between governments, enterprises, and schools. Those 7 key factors could be organized into 3 types. And these types are government-led type, school-based type, and the social service type. Based on the priority of decision makers from different perspectives, we have to consider these elements different first. Especially, in order to promote large-scale flexible teaching, these factors are shown as follows. Firstly, firstly, we need a reliable network, and the reliable network infrastructure is crucial to support different activities, and we should mobilize all major telecom service providers and increase the service bandwidth of universities and schools, and in some occasions, we should use telecalls with TV or with radio. And effectively selecting and using learning tools is beneficial to learners in finding and processing information, constructing knowledge, collaborating with peers, expressing understanding, and evaluating their learning effects in concrete ways, and list some kinds of tools. With the development of ICTs in education, digital learning resources like MOOCs and so on are making learning more accessible, engaging, and useful. But what we should pay attention is that when we're selecting suitable digital learning resources for learners, we should base on the design of learning activities. And here are some 5 useful criteria for selecting resources. They are lessons, interactives, and so on. These are, we need to facilitate effective online teaching and learning. Unlike traditional classroom learning, online instruction is correct. Online instruction has its characteristics about different locations of both teachers and learners. Therefore, flexible learning should consider effective online teaching and learning methods with different ICT technologies. And these methods should be used mixed. These methods such as lecture, case study, and so on. And the support service of online education include 2 types. These types are support service for teachers' online teaching and support service for students' online learning. Both services can be provided in collaboration with the government, schools, enterprises, families, socials, and so on. And we need to ensure governments, enterprises, and schools be closely collaborate together to ensure high-quality learning content, diverse learning activities, and effective learning outcomes when students learn online. And the government, enterprises, and the schools could closely collaborate together, and they can do something else. So here we can see, here is the conclusion of the 7 core elements. These are ensuring reliable network infrastructure, using friendly learning tools, providing interactive, suitable digital learning resources, and about learning methods, and adopting a range of teaching strategies, and providing instant support service for teachers and learners, and empowerment the partnerships between government, enterprises, and schools. Since the beginning of this year, together with many international organizations and partners, we have issued several guidebooks about using ICTs to facilitate teaching and learning, which are geared toward students, such as for students, and for teachers and the public. And that's all. Thanks for attending. Thank you. Sorry, I'm very nervous. Sorry. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much, Professor Zhong. This is a great. I know Beijing Normal University is the top university focusing on the education theory. And really appreciate you give us a presentation on the whole system, not only on the source of education, but also when you develop a online education system, the key element like the network infrastructure, the key character those content is to have, like easy for people to interact with and interactive, and then suitable for the content, the learning styles. You know what? When you talk about those, I have a full consent to you. So basically, from Huawei's point of view, we actually, as I mentioned earlier on, we are a company who sincerely want people to pick up the technology. But we worked so hard to tailor our technology, to package it into according to the technology. Basically cut into detail of the technology, package it, and then make it suitable for people's fragmental time learning, and then to cross-check the learning result by the micro certification and all of those. Really appreciate you do this presentation. But under the threat of the pandemic, I'm actually interested to see, this thorough online learning thing people has been working on this quite a while. But with this pandemic comparing with before the pandemic and then after the pandemic and even now, what do you see the major impact, the major challenge, and the major opportunity? I saw you have, your organization has published a number of guidance on how to use the technology to overcome the learning difficulty. But I want to, if we can, in the panel discussion, to drill down it a little bit more onto really from your professional organization's point of view, how this will span out. But thank you so much for time being. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And next, I would like to invite Mr. King Yua from University of Nairobi.
Thank you very much.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Let me share my presentation.
Yeah.
Are you able to see?
Not yet. Seeing your, we see it now. Put it on the full screen.
Yes, full screen, yes. Can you see now?
There you go, yeah.
Thank you very much for your opportunities. My name is Iretinho from the University of Nairobi. And we are honored to...
Hey, Professor.
We are honored to be part of the Huawei global team that is developing talent in the ICT. And from the University of Nairobi, where I'm currently the Dean of Students, we have worked this Huawei journey for the last 4 or 5 years. And I could say our collaborations and partnership with Huawei is one of the best among the industry, because they are able to synchronize with our objective of developing globally competitive graduates who are absorbed across the world, both in Africa and across the world. So I'll give you a brief presentation on the University of Nairobi, which is the largest university in East and Central Africa, with over 65,000 students, both postgraduates and undergraduates. And we have 240,000 alumni, over 5,000 staff working there. We have 11 major campuses spread across Kenya, that is in the 3 major cities, that is Kisumu, Mombasa, and Nairobi. And in addition to that, to scale up the education across the country, we have 15 e-learning centers where students, even before the COVID-19 came, they have been receiving the online education since 1994. And when the COVID-19 came and the government declared that all the institutions be closed, the University of Nairobi is an exceptional one. We only closed the building, but we never closed the learning. So out of our 65,000 students, about 60%, which is about 40,000 students, have been able to receive the online learning through the tablet, smartphone, laptops, and all that. And basically, we've not lost any single semester since the COVID came to Kenya in March 16, 2020. And we have now finished 2 major semesters between March and now. And therefore, the University of Nairobi has been a pace setter in Kenya and across the Africa through online learning. And in terms of our ICT solutions for a Kenyan university like University of Nairobi, I can say Huawei has been a very able, competent partner in terms of the digital solution to our university. And one of the things that Huawei has managed to support us is basically the Certified ICT Associate certification, where for the last 3 years, we have managed to train many students on certifications. And I can say it's a very, very competitive learning. And if you are not very keen, very few people actually pass the Huawei examinations. And that tells you the standard that the Huawei has put this training. We also have ICT skills competition where our students have done locally, nationally, regionally, and internationally, and a few of our students have emerged the top in the country and also the region. In addition to that, we collaborate with the Huawei Human Resource Department in recruiting the best of the best in the university through the management trainee program. We started with 8 students, we went to 12. Now I hear we are 24 trainees being recruited per year, and I think that's very commendable. And it tells you that Huawei is actually have a strong faith in the University of Nairobi, among other universities that Huawei is working in the country. In partnership with the government, what we call presidential digital talents, we normally provide a career fair where the Huawei is a major sponsor, and they bring in their collaborative partners to recruit those who have been trained a pool of digital talents to be absorbed by those companies that work with Huawei. And Huawei Ajira Interns is a program of the government of Kenya where they hope to achieve 1 million students or youth being trained on online working. And Huawei has also been a sponsor in that under the Ministry of ICT, Innovation and Youth Program. And I will just show you through the picture the journey that we have worked with Huawei on those major areas. And as I've earlier said, that our collaboration with Huawei is basically to develop employable graduates, because there is no point of going and get a 4 or 5 year degree and you end up having no job. So in our Huawei, we collaborate with the Department of Electrical and Electronic Engineering, and also the BSc Computer Science. And with those, our aim is basically to develop graduates who have employable skills, both locally and internationally, because the market is now global. It's not constrained to Kenya or East Africa or Africa, but you can be employed in Russia, in India, in China, Japan, America, Latin America, Europe, anywhere. But you must have a basic skills, and Huawei has brought a standard whereby once you acquire their certifications, you are fit for the job market. And I'll take you through the journey. This is one of the students in the middles who have won the global competition for ICT in 2019. And even this year, 2020, he has emerged the top. And on my left is my ICT trainer from Department of Computer Science. And on my right, next to the student, is our peers for ICT innovation. Dan Lee, you can recognize Jerome Ochieng. And on my far right is the Corporate Affairs Directors. And we are celebrating with the students for emerging the top at the country. And this is also ICT competition, technical skills, whereby our students, you can see it's a South African regional ICT competition candidates where Kenyans from various universities, our students, 2 of them are there together with other universities in Kenya, who have emerged top out of thousands and thousands of students who have gone through the Huawei ICT competition in 2019. And we are proud of those students for their good job. Together with the Corporate Affairs Director, Public Affairs, Adam Lane, we have organized students who are under ICT, Huawei ICT competition, to go and see the laboratories and the equipment that Huawei uses, because Huawei is a global player in the Kenyan security industries. And we were privileged to have like 8 or 11 students who went to Huawei headquarters in Kenya to see the infrastructure that Huawei used to land the city global security surveillance, global city surveillance system. And you can see the smiles on their face that they were extremely happy to see the company that is doing exactly what they mean in class, learning by doing. And that to us is a big marriage and a big milestone for our students. Because not only they see what they are learning in class, but they also experience firsthand. In addition to that, as I've earlier said, the human resource management of the Huawei organizes what you call a management trainee program. We receive thousands and thousands of CVs from across many universities in Kenya, but these are the finalists who have managed to be shortlisted by the Huawei, and therefore they are taken through what you call a grad management trainee program presentation. What does it take to work with Huawei? At the end of this exercise, around 24 or 30 are recruited, and they are trained for 2 years, and after 2 years, they are absorbed as the company employees. And so far, University of Nairobi has already provided over 30 to the Huawei, who are now placed in various countries of the world, South Africa, Nigeria, and many other places. And as a Dean of Students, I'm glad that our students are becoming globally competitive and holistic with skills that we require for them to be absorbed anywhere in the world. The other one, as I've earlier mentioned, you can see a pool of students who have been trained on online learning. This Ajira program, Ajira is a Swahili name meaning work. And what we normally say, online work is work. And the future works online. That program is run by the Minister of ICT of Kenya. The minister, who is former the Google country lead, is very digital. and works very closely with Huawei, and Huawei is the main sponsor for this program. The aim is to train 1 million youth on online work and 10 million in the next 5 years. And well, so far we have trained hundreds of thousands, and Huawei can attribute this because the skills the students are getting as a mentor and a sponsor, they are immense, because now youth can be able to earn money online without necessarily being employed by anyone. So there are various skills they have learned: transcriptions, website design, networking, software development, data science, and all that. And this is courtesy of the Ajira program sponsored by the Huawei. And this is the headquarters of the University of Nairobi, where we inaugurated this around 96 students to the program, the first inauguration in September 2018. And we have scaled the training of the same Ajira to the major cities in Nairobi, Kisumu, and Mombasa. And we have trained over 1,680 university students. In addition to this, we have what we call constituency innovation hubs, where Huawei and the Ministry of ICT has hired places across the towns and the cities of Kenyans to train millions of army of youth in order to be digitally equipped for the 21st century. And this is just a sample of them. And thanks to Huawei for that kind support to our country. This is Huawei Bootcamp Competition, where they are taken through what it means to scale nationally, regionally, and internationally. And this student complies of not only University of Nairobi, but other universities, both private and public, who come together in what you call Huawei Boot ICT competition, and they have scaled the heights of life, and some have reached the final and have received an award and all that. It's the same. And this is Ajira interns, who we call training of trainers. You can see towards this side, the second from the lady is Adam Lane, who is the public affairs manager for Huawei Kenya, who has been a very close friend of the university, together with a lady who has left called Suki. And now we are glad to have Zheng Wing Su, who is now the training coordinator for Huawei, and they have done a great job, and we are glad for that. Last year, Huawei did a donation of equipment worth $50,000 to the University of Nairobi. Those equipment will be used to do the UN Skills Center, because as I've said earlier, apart from the knowledge and information we are passing to the students in class, we need to expose the students to hands-on experience, and the Huawei equipment donation comes in handy to provide that hands-on experience, so that it's not theoretical, it's practical for the student. Once they go into the industry, they fit into the job market very well. And thanks to Huawei for that kind of donation to our university. This is Presidential Digital Talent. It's a flagship project of our President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru. And the University of Nairobi has been the pivotal point where the students from engineering and computer science are recruited, and they are put in all the government ministries to support the government in digitization of the ministries across the countries. And this, now we have trained over 1,200 this year. We have recruited another 300, so a total of 1,500 high top-notch students supporting the government of Kenya. And that program is also supported by Huawei technology company. Recently, we held what we call the Women in Technology Huawei Mentorship Program, where ladies across the technology companies, including Huawei own trained Suki, who was the Huawei Microsoft Education Partner Educator in Kenya, but now she has gone to UK for further studies. But Shu Zhengwing has joined to fill in the gap that Suzuki has left. But she has done a tremendous job. I can confirm and confess that she has done a good job. But I told you, you have to fit in the shoes of our sister, and she's ready for that. And thank you very much for Huawei for bringing in such great ladies. It has been a great, tremendous impact to our female students with that kind of mentorship program. We also have Huawei student brand ambassadors who spread the words within the campus that this is the way, and train them, mentor them, and they have been doing a great job since the last 4 years. And with a new project of Huawei called Learn On project, we want to scale up that achievement we have made. And this is a new initiative that I'm proud that it will reach out to the multitude of students across the campus and all other universities in Kenya, so that the Kenya is in the league of the African tiger. And Jack Ma, when he came in July 2017, he confirmed that we are actually on the right path towards for the industrial revolution because of the technology and the skills that we are impacting on our students. And secondly, in a view of future collaboration with Huawei, I would like the Huawei to expose our students on the future of work, which includes the artificial intelligence, the robotics, the automation, the Internet of Things, things to do with genomic sequencing, and things to do with quantum cloud computing. And that is the area where the world is moving, and our students are ready to learn these things. And I look forward for Huawei partnering and setting a lab of the robotic within the campus. And also for us to fit into that future of work, we also expect and hope that Huawei will also give us some expert tips on some of the skills needed for those jobs of the future, for the student to fit in and to integrate in the global society. We don't want to be left behind as Africa or Kenya, in catch up to the world towards where the world is moving towards. And if possible, we all move to the mass together by virtue of the skills that we are going to run here, so that we can conquer other worlds. The outcome of our collaboration with Huawei has been great, because we have seen our graduates becoming skilled and fit for the purpose in the market. We have also seen our graduates becoming very empowered and playing in the same league with other students from across the other worlds through the student exchange program. They are able to do competitions and debates and case studies. And that empowerment has come because of the partners like Huawei. Our graduate has also become competitive because they are not only employed in Kenya, they're employed by IBM, Huawei, Microsoft, Oracle, Cisco, and other technology companies across the world. And we are also in a discussion with Jack Ma Alibaba Business School to see how we can be able to do that. And finally, employable graduates, enterprising who are innovative for the job market. So with those few remarks, I would say thank you very much to Huawei for partnering with the University of Nairobi. And I'm glad to make that short presentation and acknowledge that it's a partnership worth pursuing and growing and nurturing the relationship. Thank you, Dan Ree, for the opportunity, and Chu Jengwing for supporting in this venture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kia. Well, is Dr. Svetlana still there? Hello? Lin Tuo, can you help to check whether Dr. Svetlana, whether she is still there or she has already left? Well, she probably has already left. Well, I know she has, well, we started at 11 a.m. Moscow time, and I knew she has a engagement at 1 p.m. So only 2 hours, and she has to leave. Well, that's understandable, but well, I was hoping to catch up with her. Well, I do have some important question I want to ask her, but anyway, we'll do it next time. Well, really appreciate Mr. Kenya. Well, appreciate your presentation. Actually, you know what? There are a couple. You have a thorough, well, collaboration with us, specifically on the teaching. And I'll make sure I'll pass your compliment to Suki. I know you, she's now in UK doing her study, but thank you very much. And other things I would like to mention is you highlight, beside the teaching and the staff, you highlight a couple of important ones. You highlight the Learn On, that is our effort specifically during this pandemic. When I had this intro, I did highlight that. Basically, that is our effort to combat the pandemic. We turn the challenge into opportunity to make our teaching more suitable for online environment. And you also mentioned another one is the student ambassador. Well, that is actually a trick we had been promoting pretty heavily, because well, as I asked Professor Reali, as of how to motivate students, it is a pretty important thing. For teachers, we are adults. When we go to motivate the student, there is actually a gap. But the student who motivate themselves is much easier. You did great, and I really want to learn more. But leave this there, and then let's go to, we are a little bit behind the time, quite behind the time. Let's go to Pakistani's VIP, Dr. Rashid and Dr. Abbas. Can you please, your presentation? Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Just let us share our presentation. Meanwhile, my aide is going to share the presentation. Let me thank Huawei for giving us an opportunity to present our STAR program, which is BS in AI partnered with Huawei. So I'll just start with a brief introduction. Okay, so I'm going to present this program with my colleague, Dr. Ghulam Abbas. So let me start by giving a brief introduction about GIK Institute. Established in 1988 with its first batch inducted in 1993. GIK is the first ever private sector engineering institute in Pakistan and is ranked #1 among all the private sector universities offering engineering programs in Pakistan. And it is also ranked among top 600 universities worldwide in Times Higher Education University Impact Ranking and among top 200 in United Nations Sustainable Development Goal Quality for Education. Okay, so the distinctive feature of GIK Institute is that it is a fully residential campus, which means all the faculty members as well as the students live on the campus 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It has more than 110 faculty members, specialized faculty members in 7 different departments, which are offering 12 degree programs and 2,000 undergrad students. The faculties or departments which are currently established in GIK are Faculty of Computer Sciences and Engineering, Faculty of Engineering Sciences, Faculty of Electrical Engineering, Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, Faculty of Materials and Chemical Engineering, Department of Civil Engineering, and Department of Management Sciences. In 1993, when GIK was first established, when the first batch was taken in, it had a humble beginning. It only offered 5 BS programs at that time, which has now expanded to 12 BS degree programs in different disciplines, with many disciplines having MS and PhD degree programs. GIK Institute, the students of GIK Institutes are a major source of brain drain for Pakistan. It means Most of the students who graduate from JIK often end up in Europe, Far East, Central, Central America, and Europe, and many different places because of the high demand. Okay. As for the Faculty of Computer Science and Engineering, we are offering degree programs in 3 disciplines: computer sciences, computer engineering, and of course, the newly launched BS in AI program partnered with Huawei, which is going to be the major focus of presentation today. We have a research-centric faculty, which are doing research in the areas of AI, aerial robotics, computer vision, medical image processing, video compression, bioinformatics, Internet of Things, parallel computation, simulation and modeling, and wireless networks. Now I would like to invite my colleague, Dr. Ghulam Abbas, who is going to present BS in AI program partnered with Huawei, and he is the focal person behind this program. Okay, Dr. Ghulam Abbas, can you please take over? Thanks a lot. Anyways.
Thank you very much. Just present the kind of collaborations we have with Huawei. So it all started with Huawei Ict Academy, which was established at GIK Institute in 2016 for working together to bridge the ICT knowledge and skills gap. Through the Academy program, of course, Huawei, Pakistan, and GIK are supporting the regional ICT education and building a better ICT talent ecosystem. The collaboration offers the students a greater opportunity to receive hands-on training and globally recognized certifications in Huawei's cutting-edge technologies in support of their careers in the ICT industry in Pakistan. Every year, the Huawei Ict Academy at GIK organizes Huawei Ict Competition roadshows to encourage the students to participate in the competition. In 2019, just last year, the GIK's Huawei Ict Academy was ranked number 4 among more than 600 Huawei Ict Academies across the world in the Best Instructor category. It was then when GIK Institute and Huawei Pakistan decided to strengthen our collaborations further and take the collaboration to the next level. And the two sides worked closely for a few months to think beyond the ICT Academy for something which should be unprecedented in terms of the collaboration between academia and industry. GIK and Huawei Pakistan then came up with an innovative idea to collaborate in a mutual area of our expertise, which is artificial intelligence, by partnering in a BS degree program. The two sides signed an MOU on the 24th of December 2019 for working together on this joint venture to start a joint BS in AI degree program. GIK and Huawei Pakistan worked hard to develop the BS in AI degree program and its curriculum, and finally signed an agreement on 2nd of July 2020 to launch the program. The BS in AI partnered by Huawei initiative is the first of its kind in the country, and I'm sure it would be the first of its kind perhaps in the globe as well, where industry is officially a partner in a degree program. So what I mean to say is that not just the Huawei's courses and trainings are embedded in the degree program, but actually Huawei will be a partner So the program is hosted with us in the university, but Huawei will actually help us deliver the courses, deliver the labs, assist us with a number of other things that I'm going to present on the next slide. So we've inducted our first batch of the BS in AI partnered by Huawei. That is exactly how the name of the degree is titled. Basically, Huawei's associate and professional level AI trainings are part of the curriculum. Apart from that, Huawei has worked with us, with our curriculum experts, to develop the curriculum of this new program. GIK is known the world over for the quality education. GIK is providing all necessary infrastructure, its qualified faculty and quality education. Huawei is providing the laboratory equipment, including its cutting-edge AI chips. It's also providing access to the public cloud, Huawei public cloud, its software and data sets. Huawei trainings and certifications are available to the faculty in China and Pakistan. Certifications are also optionally available to the students as well, free of charge. Huawei would also provide internships to the top students and will arrange visits of the students to international conferences and summits. That's only a glimpse of the type of collaboration we will have with Huawei Pakistan in this degree program. And with the GIK's quality education combined with the hands-on experience on Huawei's cutting-edge technology and the exposure to Huawei's platforms and services, it is envisaged that our BS in AI graduates will stand out from the pack of computing graduates in the country and the world at large. We would like to acknowledge the contributions of our faculty members and our colleagues from Huawei Pakistan and Huawei Middle East who work with us in developing this program and the curriculum. We also had visits from Huawei headquarters in China. Their contribution in developing the curriculum is also acknowledged. Would also like to pay tribute to our dear friend and colleague, engineer Dr. Sajid Anwar, who passed away recently due to cancer. He made a major contribution in this program. That was all from our side. Thank you very much, Danny, for your time and listening to us.
Thank you very much. This is great, wonderful. Sorry to hear the loss of the student. The thing occurs. This we see we have completed the presentation section. We will jump into we massively over time. We're behind the time, so we just directly jump into the panel discussion section. Well, I'm so pleased, and actually I'm so inspired by the presentation all the VIP presenters has presented. There are a lot of questions. I was very keen to ask. From the presenting, we heard the importance of industry and academy collaboration. Everyone is commenting on that. I know in Malaysia, the Ministry of Education, long time ago, they put in the industry and academia collaboration as a mandate for all the universities. And then for Indonesia, I know Huawei has recently signed an agreement with the presidential office from that high level to motivate the whole nation to learn the ICT, the technology, and then to collaborate with the industry. And I also heard in University of Nairobi, there is similarly a presidential program on that level. And in Pakistan, very similarly. So basically, that is the thing. I was intending to ask Dr. Svetlana from her point of view as an international organization, how she sees this. Unfortunately, she has left due to the other engagement, which is fair enough. Let's jump into a little bit more detailed thing, and then Lintuo, is it possible let's open up all the VIP's speaker so that they can talk? I know we have got a lot of people online. Can we try to open up the VIP speakers one so that we kind of have a free discussion, although I have questions. But first of all, I would like to ask Professor Yu, well, on your presentation, you, oh gee, we have a lot of background noise. Gee, it will be difficult. But anyway, first of all, I would like to ask Professor Yu, I really appreciate your support to the industry collaboration. And on your presentation, you mentioned your faculties, your colleague has been using Huawei's teaching content to enrich their curriculum. That is a great result. But I want to ask Professor Yu, from you as the highest level of university administrators' point of view, how you see this? How do you manage the content enrichment? What is your structure onto, you know, the content come to, well, the lecturer propose or Huawei content is good, and then go through to the department level, to the faculty level, and how do you manage this, Professor?
Thank you. Basically, you see, in our program, there are courses, a number of courses, and all these courses, it has its course learning outcome. So we find out that, especially, just pick an example, networking. Those courses related to networking, basically, they have this, some of the learning outcome, either fundamental knowledge, applications of the networking techniques and all that. And we find out that this one, actually, in fact, in the curriculum provided by Huawei, they also have the same learning outcome. So that is actually easy for us to map the two. Okay, so after mapping these two, then that means that we can actually use the curriculum or the material from Huawei in our actual teaching. Okay, then after that, with the recommendation at the departmental level, they send to the faculty level, and then to the university level curriculum committee, and finally our university senate actually approve this one. That is how we actually can implement it. And because normally we have meeting monthly, so a lot of times latest changes can always be adapted and adopted easily. Thank you.
Wonderful. That's a great articulation. And for us, well, you know what? This is very important for Huawei. We actually do a lot. We take the university as our key partners. We do want our materials to be easily adaptable to the universities. And we are very keen to learn how the university, how you manage the whole system, how you govern it, because we want to contribute in a way very much like you said. So it is a quality content, and it is easy for the student to absorb. And then at the end of the day, they have hands-on ability and then know the latest technology. We heard this from your faculty and Professor Yu. It is also a great pleasure to hear you have the same comment. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
Great. On the same, thank you so much. On the same track of a topic, I would like to ask Dr. Rashid and Dr. Abbas from Pakistan. Say, really appreciate you have implemented Huawei's teaching content and made it as a Bachelor of Science, Artificial Intelligence. How do you really do it? And from your university's point of view, with the strong support from Huawei, from the government, and from all the governing body, how do you do this?
Okay, thanks a lot for giving us the opportunity to comment on that. Actually, we have well-established degree programs in several disciplines. And of course, as we said before, we have well-established BS degree programs in computer sciences and computer engineering. So the idea behind offering this BS AI program was that we wanted to have students who graduate with skill set which meets market demands. So that was the focus. And when it comes down to market demands, a student is, going out with a lot of theoretical background that guy may do very well in the long run, but when he immediately goes to the market, for the first, few months, he has to, learn certain tools. He needs to learn certain programming languages, which basically kind of delays his deployment to real life projects. So when we discussed these ideas with the Huawei, they said, okay, we can support you on that. We can give you some specialized trainings. We can provide you some specialized equipment. We can help you design some specialized labs, which can make the students available. Which can enable them to start working on real life projects from the first day of their deployment in the industry. So that was the major idea behind this collaboration. And I would like Dr. Navas to take on this. Take on from this.
Yes. So when we think there is universally, the model of education is that theoretically all the universities, at least at the undergraduate level, we have this model implemented across the world, and there is a lot of gap between industry and academia because everything is at the undergraduate level, mostly taught theoretically at the undergraduate level, whereas the actual knowledge comes from practice, which is in the industry. So why is the question we asked in the beginning when we had meetings with Huawei is, so why is that universities always offer the degree, whereas the actual knowledge, the practical knowledge is with the industry and they never offer the degree? So can it be the case where the industry comes to the university and starts offering the degrees and be part of the degrees as well? So it's not just the curriculum, which we have adopted from Huawei and embedded in our BS in AI degree program. It's all sorts of expertise that come with this collaboration, where they help us deliver all day-to-day activities of this degree program. And that's what's happened for the first time in the country, and we are sure that this would perhaps be the case as it applies worldwide as well, because there are industries whose curriculum is part of the curriculum taught, a few courses are part of the curriculum at the undergraduate degree level, but the industry is not the running partner of the degree program. So this has happened for the first time, a collaboration that we've had with Huawei Pakistan and Huawei Middle East and GIK. So that's how we answered the question. Thank you.
Right, very good. But I would also like to follow up a question. Say you have a pretty clear track of a strategy, idea, and you want to do that. But because this is such a high-profile program, do you get university support when you create this BS AI, and then when you say this is the latest technology and the teachers' training material is limited? And on the other hand, the industry partner, Huawei, they have got not only the training material, they have got the tools. The tool can actually is embedded on the cloud, and it has the artificial intelligence element. The student can also take the chance to get into the IoT, the cloud technology. But well, normally the universities will do the change gradually, little by little. But when you do this Bachelor of Science on artificial intelligence, this major effort, do the universities support you, and how long does it take to get?
I got your point. I got your point. Actually, we were blessed with the fact that in Pakistan, the president of Pakistan has already launched an initiative in which he wants to promote education in AI. So we just grabbed that opportunity and we convinced our management that we want this program to be started within first year. We just started discussing this idea last year. It was conceived just last year. we brought this idea in the knowledge of our higher management, of course, the rector and other, management, and we convinced them that this is the future. And the biggest advantage we have a private sector university. We are a private sector university, and it was rather easy for us to, get this program get approved by, through all the approval pipelines. And another advantage we had that, in Pakistan, the curriculum is approved by Higher Education Commission. So another blessing was that when Higher Education Commission, launched this program at the national level, they developed, set up a curriculum development team. And luckily, they invited faculty members from the top universities to be part of that curriculum development team. And GIK Institute was one of those institutes who actually developed that curriculum at the national level. So it was very easy for us, not only to design a curriculum which was, in line with the industry, but also a curriculum which basically closely conformed to, the national requirements. So that's how we were able to do it so quickly. I understand that in normal circumstances, an initiative like that takes many years, to go into the final form. But given those special conditions, when there was a push from the, at the national level as well as international level, and there was a push inside, from inside the institute, so we were able to do that in 1 year. Alhamdulillah.
Very good, very good. I'm actually looking forward to see the outcome of a student on learning the latest technology. With Huawei, we are strong on those things. We are strong in IoT, on cloud, artificial intelligence, all of this. Great, thank you so much.
Thanks,
wonderful. We have, on the industry and academy collaboration, as we have got this program, and then we offer this program freely to the university so that you can use it to teach the students. As someone mentioned, it is really a win-win solution. But for the industry partner as Huawei, we actually have our clear expectation. We would love to see the production or the output of qualified people. When we say qualified, we're talking about those people can be used by us, by our partners, and by our customers. The reason, the way we achieve it is we have got the certification. So basically, those ones, all of you mentioned about HCIA. It stands for Huawei Certified ICT Associate. We actually have HCIA, HCIP, HCIE, 3 levels. That's fine. We hope the student to achieve certification. That is what we and our partner and our customer is looking forward to. But from the university's point of view, we know, we set those things as a standard. It is a benchmark. We want to say, all right, we support you to teach, but we want you to teach the student to reach this benchmark, to reach the standard, while Huawei is in a way setting the standard. But what, a key thing, a key difficulty we have, and we supporting the university to do, is to motivate the student to achieve this certification, to achieve the HCIA certification. We have got so many different technologies, as you have seen in the presentation, but we found very difficult thing is the student, when you let them learn, good, but really how to motivate them. We have this ICT competition to motivate the student, and we have a job fair. We try to motivate the student, and then, the final thing is we want to see the student achieve our certification. Around how to motivate student, I would like to throw to you questions and discuss. First one, Dr. Johanna. ITB has been a outperformer on this ICT competition in Asia Pacific. You had been working with us long, but I would like to ask you, as a prestigious university, you are actually the leading university in Indonesia and also in the whole region. As the leading university in the whole region, the students normally, they focus on not so much of the practical skill. They are looking for R&D and then the further studies. But how do you motivate the students in your university to learn the technology, to participate in the competition, to achieve certification, and then do the practical things. Dr. Johanna?
Thank you, Lily. Yes, it's quite hard to motivate the students, but of course you have to do something to make them motivated. In the class, we give them explanation that when you graduated and get into the job, you have to have the capability that make you different from others. So if you have that capability, it will be easier for you to get the job. The job especially actually do not only related or the when they are graduated, they are not only going into the research institution. So in fact, most of them not going to research institution or pursue graduate study. Most of them mainly go into the industry. Industry need person that have skill, not only the GPA for their study achievement, but of course industry needs a skilled person. So when they get into the industry doesn't have to expend more money to train the graduates, so they can directly get into the to do the job in the industry. So we always give the student that a view that you cannot survive only from the theory. You have to also give yourself enough knowledge in the application side of the theory. So it is important for you to survive in the industry. So yeah, maybe only a little number of students follow the competition is okay, but we suggest them to get the training on the practical aspect of the theory, especially in related to the Huawei technology, of course, in the computer networks application. In addition to the little number of students follow the competition, but for most of the students, we provide them the hands-on experience in the integrated to the curriculum. So maybe they are not all motivated, but we have way to do. We have way to make them experience the hands-on, because we see that experience is important for them to do the job later in the industrial world, in the real world. So doesn't have to be motivated. We push them to do the hands-on experience.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, we realized that, well, through the many years of working together with the university, we realized that the faculties and the deans and head of department, they are so important in influencing the students to learn the technology. Because although we Huawei are pretty keen and we have some cool products, the mobile phone and the stuff, but basically the student listen to you more than listen to us. And we really appreciate your support through time, and then motivate them not only to learn, but also supporting the important event like Huawei ICT competition, these things. Much appreciated.
Welcome.
On the same, yeah, great. On the same track, I would like to ask, as I mentioned earlier, Professor Riali from Italy. Well, you started working with Huawei, Huawei ICT Academy, and you also start to teach the student. But how do you motivate the student? As I mentioned earlier on, I reckon it is not so easy for the student from such a beautiful country like Italy, let them sit down to go through the coding, to go through the configuration, to the routing and switching, router and switch. How do you do it, Professor?
Well, thank you for this question. Actually, I have to say that I have personally developed with my students time after time, through years, a relationship of mutual trust. And this is very important to send appropriate messages to students and allow them to get the real meaning of the message. After graduation, they know very well that it is not important only to find a job, a position, but it's also important to find a suitable position, to have a good start. And having a good start is important for their career. And this is the message that I have conveyed to my class. And they seem to have received and processed the message. And they expect from teachers not only technicalities, lessons on how to configure devices, but also some advices and what is better for them, for their future, for how to invest their time. And since they seem to trust my personal advice, I invested a lot of time to convince them that this is one of the possibilities. Having a certification, our Huawei certification is one of the possibilities to have a really good start. I also showed them the possibilities of a career in local companies and maybe companies in other cities and in other countries as well. Huawei is a wonderful company. The culture that they get from the certification can be used all over the world, but only locally, not only abroad. So this is a possibility that students seem to have appreciated, and they reacted very well. And I think that I will proceed into this path for convince them that it is really good for them.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, on that aspect, well, I reckon there are still a lot of things to do, and I really appreciate your support into this. When we listen to the presenters from different universities from different parts of the world, people are doing all the things, and well, for the developed economy and then the mature economy, and then the country with a rich legacy like Italy, we really look forward to a successful case and the good demonstration of how to penetrate even further and to motivate the student so that the technology plug into the history.
Thank you.
Wonderful. And well, this is the great topic. Well, I also want to throw this question to Dr. Feng. I know you had been very supportive on the industry and academy collaboration.
Yes.
Well, you also leading the effort of online learning. You are the leader for the IIOE, as I heard, is the International Information
Institute.
Institute of Open Education.
Online education, yes.
Online, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yes.
Can you be a bit more specific for the online learning, specifically the online learning, say before the pandemic and well, during the pandemic and even after the pandemic? How do you see the difference? And then like you are doing it in a short time, impacting to 95 countries. How do you achieve it? And what do you see as a challenge?
We say that online learning before the pandemic, it is quite a bit of a reluctant thing that the people, that especially teachers in higher education, are feeling they have possible complex feelings about turning online. There are worries about the effectiveness and necessity of the online learning. But actually, the COVID pandemic changed everything. And online learning has been proven to be a very effective way of overcoming the difficulties in this specific time. But also it's important, as we practice the online teaching support for the teachers, we found that it is also a great way for teachers in developing countries to overcome the limited resources in their own countries. Because once you go online, there are a lot of possibilities for international collaboration and for the provision of free and open access content to be delivered beyond the borders. But also there are many challenges to that. You see, we are providing some of the video-based courses. And that only is very difficult in some of our partner countries. You understand, in developing countries, many of the countries, they charge the usage of internet by the amount of data flow. So we have to find ways to make our videos as clear as possible, but make the size as small as possible. So there are many different specific challenges, and also electronic shortage. And also we have to be considerate of the local context. We have to change many of the course content to be more, for example, in ICT, we used to have the expression of the master and slave servers, which is proven to be a little bit offensive for many of our users. So the new usage of that kind of connection, we use the primary and secondary master and helper. In that way, we can help to build a more considerate community of the developing world, and also we provide free and online content.
Very good. That's wonderful. You touched on a big point, which is you have developing countries as your focused country. As a UNESCO organization, I certainly understand your priority. Yes. But you know what, this pandemic, it hits not only developing countries, it also hits developed countries. Well, with this one, I want to throw it back to Professor from Perugia, Professor Reali. How do you see the impact of pandemic to the need of online learning while comparing with the traditional learning?
It's something that should be analyzed in deep, I guess, because my personal feeling is that the possibilities are huge and it must be developed through a suitable integration process. But I firmly think that this is the path that we have ahead in our future activities and for which collaborations and also internal activities. And I think it's a good move to pursue. That's my personal feeling.
Very good. In a country like Italy, in the university, does the university from your management level, do you encourage the faculty, the student to leverage the online learning tools, the MOOC and the things available online, or you still on your curriculum teaching at this stage still
no. Our selection was to start. You know, the pandemic has promoted this practice clearly, but now we made this. It was the occasion for making a definitive choice. In this week, we moved all our teaching activities online. Before
Wonderful.
It was mixed. Yeah. Yes, it was mixed. And we have started a clear process for enriching our online offer, including massive online courses, including also all lab activities that can be done online, not all of them. But we got the message, and for the future, in the future years, our offer will clearly increase. And we also the pandemic, the University of Perugia got an increase of students subscribed of 45%.
Really?
Really,
Wow.
yes, it was a big surprise for us. What happened from our analysis resulted that a lot of students that accessed online courses in other universities decided to subscribe to the University of Perugia given this possibility of taking online courses.
Wonderful.
So it was a great message for us, and we will not go back for sure.
Wonderful.
And we will proceed like that.
Really appreciate it. It's very encouraging. Basically, your testimony pretty much confirmed this online. It is the online learning. It is not only a greatly needed for the developing country due to the need, the issue of infrastructure, but it is also a great aid for the developed countries, developed economies. And as you mentioned, the practicing University of Perugia is actually because of your advantage, your advancement on the online learning is actually helped your business beyond others. Thank you so much. It's a great message.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure.
I also want to ask Professor Zhong, thank you very much. You presented the thorough theory of the online learning system and the related elements. But Professor Zhong, I would like to ask you, say, among so many things, you got the content availability, licensing, granting, you got the system, and then you got all of these, and the governing like a policy and profitability so that it can be sustainable. But how do you see it is, what is the most important factor? Or is Professor Zhong still there, or she has left? Well, she probably has left. We are a little bit too much behind the time. So, hello, is Professor? Oh, hang on, not the interpreter. Anyway, I don't see Professor Zhong in the speakers list. Well, if that is the case, that's well, we have to compromise a bit. Let's quickly jump to the University of Nairobi. Mr.
Sorry, Mr. Danny Ling, sorry.
Yeah.
I need to go for another meeting already.
Certainly.
I'm really sorry for that.
No, I'm sorry. We have made it too long. Really appreciate your support. I actually have further question to you, but appreciate you can leave.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Sorry.
Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Go ahead, Dan.
Mr. Kenya. Well, I have, as I mentioned earlier on, I have a question on to, in the University of Nairobi, you have so many leading practices, which is good. But I want to ask you, say, after all of those, do you see major improvement in student achieving Huawei certification, which is, as I mentioned, a key object we have? Do you see a big number of students achieving certification? And then you did mention they are good for the industry use. How do you see those things?
Yes, Dan Lee, thank you very much for that question. I think the student, initially when we launched the program, we had a class of 42 students and only 2 passed. That means 40 failed, and they had to sit and resit maybe twice or thrice until they make it. And the number started increasing to 8, to 16. And I think I'm seeing a lot of interest from the students to get those certifications, because when it comes to the Huawei graduate trainee program, the human resource partner will always insist if you have a Huawei certification, you'll have another advantage in the recruitment. And therefore, many students have started pursuing and working extremely very hard for them to pass the exams. And also our ICT team in Chiromo in the BSc Computing Science department, they are encouraging the students. The lecturers are coaching them on how to pass the exam and to have those certifications. And we have seen for the last 2-3 years a lot of improvement. From 2 to 16 is a great number for our university.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is wonderful. Really appreciate it. And well, given the, well, as I mentioned earlier on, although I really want to go into depths of your student ambassador program and then your presidential program, all of those, but given the time restriction, I reckon we probably cannot do it. But before I call the close, well, all the VIPs, you have your speakers enabled. If you have any question, you can open up, unmute the speaker, see whether you have any questions to anyone.
Mine is not a question, it's what you have just said about the brand ambassadors. And my request to Huawei is to train 50 to 100 student brand ambassadors this year or early next year, who will push the certification program to all the other university students.
Well, it is a similar request from the teachers across the board. Well, one is they appreciate us on the simulator. I received the compliment for our routing and switching simulator, but there are also requests like artificial intelligence, IoT, and storage, all of those. We have a very broad technology spectrum. So those ones we're working on pretty hard. Well, the good thing is we start to leverage the cloud facility so that it will be easier, but still it takes time. But thank you very much, Professor. That's a good message. It's very well taken.
Thank you.
Great. Any other questions? All right. Well, if that is the case, I really appreciate all the honored VIP guests. Really appreciate your time and your support, and your message is great. It not only helps us on improving our operation, I think internationally we're broadcasting this to the bigger community. I'm sure it will inspire everyone to achieve the goal to better collaborate between the industry and academy, and also promote more of the online education so that the ICT, the technology, helps produce the talent even more, even better. Thank you so much. Let's close this virtual summit for now. Really appreciate your support.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye for now. I hope to see you down the track. Bye.
Thank you all. Bye. Thank you all. Bye-bye.